Hi honeys, welcome back to another episode of Girl Do It For You. So, I'm sorry, I'm still sick. Still a little congested. So I have my tea, so if you hear me, very sorry about that too, but we're doing what we have to get better. So we're in October now. Isn't that crazy? It's October, like absolutely ridiculous. But something that I want to talk about is October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I just kind of want to talk about that because there are so many people out there who are going through domestic violence or are survivors or are in the middle of it or I don't need all of it. And I just want to say, tell your story because it matters and it's important and you are important. You matter. Your story matters, and I don't care if you think that no one's going to listen to you or no one's going to side with you. Trust me, tell your story, tell someone, tell anyone, tell everyone. It is terrifying what people go through and don't talk about because they don't think they can tell anybody. Tell everybody that you can. Tell anybody. You call the police, there's so many hotlines. Like, please tell someone. And I don't care if you think, oh, it's not that bad because whatever, and you try and justify it, or, oh, well, it's not that bad, or no, it's just this. Like, don't justify it. If you feel threatened, if you feel that you are in any way harm, you call someone, you report it. In a very abusive relationship, and I didn't tell anybody, and I didn't think that mine was important. I didn't think it mattered. I didn't think it was a big enough deal because there were people that were getting it worse than me, and they needed the help and they needed the resources, and I didn't want to take away from that. But every day I regret not doing something about it. If you are in any sort of situation that you think is anything life-threatening or damaging to you, please speak out. Your story matters and you matter. And for years I thought mine didn't, and I thought that it wasn't a big deal and it was fine. And you make excuses for it, but it is a big deal. It's not fine. It's not okay to treat somebody like that. And if you're looking for a sign to tell, you're like, oh, I've always wanted to say something but I didn't know when, how, where, what, why, this is it. It is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It is time to bring awareness to the amount of people that are going through this. Male, female, no matter who it is. It doesn't even have to be a partner. Sometimes it's parents. Sometimes it's... Domestic violence is domestic violence. That's it. There's not this little tiny box that you have to fit in to get it. No, report it. Or talk to somebody. Like, you have to talk to somebody, because I regret it every single day not talking to anybody and keeping it in and trying to deal with it by myself, because hindsight's 2020, and that was the worst thing I've ever could have done, was try to keep it to myself and try to not tell anybody because I thought mine wasn't that bad. I justified it with myself with the fact that I'm this young kid, no one's going to believe me, mine isn't that bad, it's just whatever, and it's just words, like, he's just treating me like this. But guess what? It turned out to not just be words. It started as just words and how he would talk to me and how he would treat me, and it turned into physically. So it's like it doesn't have to be anything small, and just because you think it's small doesn't mean it is. Don't let them silence you. Don't let them take away your power. Don't let them take away your voice. You have it, use it. Do not let them take that from you. Please, it is so important. I had mine taken from me, and it is taking me years to build myself back up. Years. It is taking me so much work to go through all of it again, and you have to relive it sometimes when you're trying to process those feelings. And I wish I would have just done it and dealt with it then, but now here I am, still dealing with these issues and still trying to figure it out basically by myself, because no one can figure it out for you. And to be honest with you, when it first ended, I missed it. I did. You missed the chaos, you missed a whole back and forth and like the fight, and it's ridiculous that they have you under such control and you don't realize it. And when it first ended, I was like, it's so silent. It's ridiculous. Like, this makes no sense. And you begin to think the abuse and the chaos and the constant back and forth, you begin to think it's normal. You do, because it's all you know. And especially if it's your first love or anything like that, you just think this is how it's supposed to be. This is how I'm supposed to be treated. Okay, this is normal. This is what it is. And it's not. It is so... There's so much better out there. You deserve so much better. You don't deserve to be yelled at. You don't deserve to have someone demand anything of you. There's someone out there that will show you that you don't ever have to be screamed at. You don't ever have to be yelled at. You don't ever have to be hit. You don't ever have to be hurt. You don't ever have to be with someone where you are terrified of going home or terrified of what mood they're going to wake up in, or when they fall asleep, you can get 5 minutes of a reprieve and a breather. Like, you don't ever deserve that. You deserve someone who loves you and actually loves you. You deserve someone who is happy to be around you 24/7 and not angry about it, and supports you and uplifts you and thinks you are the best thing ever. And yes, that sounds very cringy and very romantic movie-ish, but I promise that's what you deserve. You don't deserve the chaos. You don't deserve the fighting. You don't deserve the abuse. You don't deserve the hurt that brings you and the trauma that comes along with it. You deserve someone that's never ever going to raise their voice at you. Ever. Raise a finger. Raise anything at you. Someone who supports you, who doesn't demand anything of you, who just accepts you as you, and that's it. That's what you deserve. There is the relationship out there that you deserve. Someone who is sweet, loving, caring, gentle, and patient, and will do anything for you. And I promise that they're out there. And I know it sounds stupid, and I know if you're listening to this and you're in a bad situation, you just think, no, he's going to change. He's not, I promise. I'm sorry, but I promise. It's probably going to get worse. If you leave, and then when you find someone who actually cares for you, it is so confusing to let that person love you. It is the most difficult thing to go from crazy, chaotic, back and forth hate of a relationship, really, to then find someone who is calm and patient and actually cares about you and doesn't start a fight out of everything. And you're constantly waiting for that ball to drop to just be like, yep, there it is. Okay, cool. This is it. Yeah, this is normal. And you self-sabotage because you don't know any better. You're like, you'll start a fight or you'll try to start a fight, and you'll push them and push them and push them. And hopefully you find a person that can realize what you've been through, but you're going to self-sabotage and you're going to not know what to do. You're going to think it's weird because it's calm and you're not used to calm. And maybe you'll leave and then you'll find someone else and they'll be just as crazy as the last one, and you'll be like, yep, this is it, because that's all you know. But I promise, if you find someone who it seems weird, just talk about it. If they don't know your past, bring it up. Like, it's scary, I understand, but one of the best things I ever did for my relationship now was telling him a little bit of my story. Not all of it, because he doesn't care to hear... Well, it's not that he doesn't care to hear it. He doesn't want to hear that because it hurts him that someone hurt me like that. But I tell him some things so that he can understand how I feel and why I feel certain ways and why it's making me feel crazy that me and him aren't fighting, or he doesn't want to leave me every 2 days and we don't talk for weeks because that's what I was used to. And he's like, "What? That's not a relationship. I'm so confused." And I'm like, that's what I knew for a relationship. I don't know. And it's so confusing going from that, but it's also so good for you. And it's taken a lot of work for us to get to a good point. But please don't give up. Please don't give up. Please get out. There are a lot of emotions that come with leaving that kind of relationship and trying to navigate it. Because, you don't just wake up the next day and everything's fine and everything's hunky-dory and let's go, we're good to go, right? I'm free of that, now move on to the next. That's not what happens. It's years of work, it's years of therapy, it's years of trying to deal with trauma. For a very long time, I was very, very, very angry. And I didn't know why. I was like, why am I pissed off? Everything set me off. And I couldn't figure it out. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I should be so happy in my relationship because I have no reason to be angry, but I was so angry. I was angry at the past. I still am a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I still fight with it every single day. And it's something you don't see on the outside, because on the outside, she's happy, she's bubbly, she's great, she's in a great relationship. Oh my God, she's so lucky. You don't know people. And that's fine. But it is a hard battle to fight with yourself every single day over something that someone did to you in the past. Because then it makes you more angry that they have that control on your life still. And it infuriates me. And that's something I'm trying to work with. But it's very difficult to work through that and then be in a healthy relationship and try to make that work too. I am so thankful for Matthew, and he is so patient with me. But it is so terrifyingly difficult to work through it. But it's also, I am so happy I got out of that relationship. I am so happy that that's done because I'm better in myself now. And yes, it made me who I am now. But I hate that saying. I hate the saying, well, it made you who you are. Because I didn't need that to happen to me. I didn't need that. I didn't need someone to show me what love isn't supposed to be. I didn't need that. I'm okay. I could have went without that. Thanks. Like, you think when you meet someone, you found someone that's going to love you and protect you and take care of you, and you guys are going to do all these things together, and then they fail at every single part of it and they don't do any of it. And that makes me so angry. Like, you were supposed to love me and you didn't. And then you treated me like crap for it. And yeah, that made me who I am. But I didn't need somebody to show me they didn't love me like that and treat me like that and do what they did. Nobody needs that. Nobody deserves that. You don't need to go through hard things to make you tough. My trauma didn't make me who I am today. Me working through it and years of working through it and therapy has made me who I am. But I could have went without it. You didn't need to show me you didn't love me. That's okay. You didn't have to treat me like that. It caused so many scars, physically and emotionally, that those emotional scars, they don't heal nearly as quickly as physical scars. They don't. And it made me a mess. I was a mess emotionally. I didn't know how to handle things. I didn't know how to handle feelings. I didn't know how to process things because I was always shut down. I was always yelled at. I was always shut up. So why would I process anything when I'm not going to talk about it? It made me difficult to love people. It made me difficult to let people in. You know, before everything happened, I was a very loving person. I still am. It made it difficult for me to then let people love me. Do you know what I mean? Like, to let people in again? Because what if they do it? What if they do the same thing? Because they don't treat you like shit in the beginning. They love bomb you. And you're the sun, the freaking moon, and the stars all streamed into one of them. And you're amazing. And then one day it shows, their true colours come out and they snap and there's no going back. I was a mess. And I didn't know how to love, and I didn't know how to let someone love me. And it is so infuriating that someone gets to have that control on my life. And yes, I'm slowly but surely taking it back. But I will forever be mad that I didn't do something about it. Ever. And that I chose to wait years before I was like, oh, I need to get some help. Because now I'm okay. Now I'm getting better and I'm understanding why I feel certain ways. But I didn't know that back then, and I just wish I could tell myself, like, speak up. Call someone. Call anybody. Your friends, your siblings, your parents, the police, a coworker, anybody, and let them know. Because they don't see it, they're not in it. And I'm sure you hate it, because I hate it. Why wouldn't you? You defend them, you do all of that, and you don't see it until you get out and you're like, you didn't know any better. You were so blinded by everything else that they're doing. Because them being bad, well, they made up for it on the good days, and they brought you flowers, and they bought you chocolates, and they took you on dates. But then those dates ended in fights almost every single time. But then you just hoped for a good day. You don't have to hope for a good day. You can always have good days with your person. You can always be happy on date night. They don't have to end in a fight or you crying yourself to sleep. They can be happy. You can go to bed happy that you had such a good day. Week, years. That's what you deserve. You deserve that from someone. You are more than enough for someone to love. And you deserve all of that and more. You deserve a kind love, a patient love, a caring love, respecting love. That's what you deserve. Please report it. Please speak up. Get out. Please. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I love you, honeys.